Hi, boys and girls. This week we're reading a story called The Salamander Room. This book is written by Anne Mazer, and our comprehension skill this week is about how good readers create a picture in their brain while they're reading. And even if you can't see the pictures, you should always be visualizing, is the big grown-up word for it, but making a picture in your brain. And we talk about this when we write too, that I want you to write words so that I can see and feel and imagine what it was like to be there when you're writing. And so when we use all our five senses, we remember things better, and the experience is much more positive and pleasurable. So this week we're going to talk about mental images. Good readers make a picture in their heads to help them understand the story. This is going to get especially important when you start to read chapter books that have less and less pictures. So if you get through a page in a chapter book and it doesn't have pictures, and you're not forming a picture in your brain, you're probably not going to remember it. So I'm going to read this book, Salamander Room, to you without telling you or showing you the pictures this week. And then you're going to be able to read it again and see the pictures and see if your images were right. That's what's fun, to see if you pictured it the way the author or illustrator drew the pictures to go with the story. And another of my anchor charts says visualize while you're reading. So just like in a movie, the image in your head should change as you listen to the story. So you might have a picture and then the author writes some other words that changes the picture in your head. And that's exactly what you should be doing, because the more information you have, the more the picture will change. So listen as I read The Salamander Room. You're going to like this book. Brian found a salamander in the woods. It was a little orange salamander that crawled through the dried leaves at the forest floor. The salamander was warm and cozy in the boy's hand. "Come live with me," Brian said. He took the salamander home. "Where will he sleep?" his mother asked. "I'll make him a salamander bed to sleep in. I will cover him with leaves that are fresh and green and bring moss that looks like little stars to be a pillow for his head. I will bring crickets to sing him to sleep and bullfrogs to tell him goodnight stories. And when he wakes up, where will he play? I will carpet my room with shiny wet leaves and water them so he can slide around and play. I will bring tree stumps into my room so he can climb up the bark and sun himself on top. And I will bring boulders that he can creep over." Are you picturing in your head what's happening? I wonder what you're thinking. If there's somebody in the room with you, you could share. Or we're going to write pictures and draw pictures of what we think we see. He will miss his friends in the forest. I will bring him salamander friends to play with him. They will be hungry. How will you feed them? I will bring insects to live in my room, and every day I will catch some and feed the salamanders, and I will make little pools of water on top of the boulders so they can drink whenever they're thirsty. The insects will multiply, and soon there will be bugs and insects everywhere. I will find birds to eat the extra bugs and insects, and the bullfrogs will eat them too. He's got a reason every time his mom asks him, or a way to get out of the problem, doesn't he? He's got a solution. Well, where will the birds and bullfrogs live? I will bring trees for the birds to roost in and make ponds for the frogs. Birds need to fly. We can lift off the ceiling. They will sail out into the sky, but they will come back to my room when it's time for dinner because they will know that the biggest, juiciest insects are there. Are you picturing what this Brian boy is saying? Do you think this is realistic? But the trees, how will they grow? The rain will come through the open roof and the sun too. And the vines will creep up the walls of my room, and ferns will grow under my bed. There will be a big white mushroom and moss like little stars growing around the tree stumps that the salamanders climb on. And you? Where will you sleep? I will sleep on a bed under the stars with the moon shining through the green leaves of the trees. Owls will will hoot and crickets will sing. And next to me, on the boulder with its head resting on soft moss, the salamander will sleep. Do you think his mom's going to let this happen? That's the end. Okay, I hope you were able to imagine in your brain and maybe draw some pictures to go with it about what you think was happening in the story and what it looked like. I'll read it next time with the pictures.